We would love for you to go ahead and access the interpretation link on your down below. It looks like a little world is what I like to call it that says interpretation for Spanish and Cantonese or Chinese translation.
Buenas tardes. Si necesitan traducción, vamos a abrir el cuarto de interpretación en unos segundos. Aquí está cómo puede tener el acceso a la función de la traducción o interpretación. Nos sirve en lo que es para las computadoras, los Chromebooks, en las otras sí, y en su teléfono.
如果需要翻譯嘅話咧，就會撳呢個以下呢個翻譯嘅功能啦。咁咧就撳入去咧，就我哋叫做翻譯個人員就會講你需要翻譯嘅語言。
All right, I'm going to go ahead and start the interpretation room.
Great, thank you. All right, people are still coming in, exciting. Take my glasses off, I can't see for. Hi, everyone, it's so good to see you all. James, we're ready to go now?
Yes.
The room, great. So wonderful to see all your names and a few of your faces. Would love to see your face. I'm coming to you tonight from good old San Leandro. Thank you, Joanna. And really happy to see you all. I'm Gingy Heiston. I am with Blaze Consulting, and we are here to just actually have our last virtual family landing pad for the year. Can you believe we've made it to the school year? If you're excited, the school year is almost, I see you, Nellie, I see you, yes. It's so hard to believe, 2 years, my friends. For those of us who have been there, and for our first time folks, welcome, welcome, welcome. We really are gonna take some time to look at sliding into the home stretch. Can you all believe, what is it, 16 days of school left? And that is so exciting and stressful at the same time. Anybody excited and stressed about that? You're checking your kids' grades like they're your grades, or maybe that's just me. So we're going to take some time to talk about how do we end the next 16 days strong, and also just talk about how we feel as parents and guardians who are ending the year in a way where some of us are really excited and some of us are a bit anxious. If you're there, I'd love for you to come off mute and take a moment to just greet everybody in whatever language or ever way is comfortable for you. It's something amazing about hearing other people's voices. So on the count of 3, let's just greet everyone in the room off mute. 1, 2, 3.
Buenas tardes.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Hi. You know, that's always my favorite part because I love hearing all the voices. And so I want to start by saying, I know many of us have come from work, have been with kids all day, students, and whatever it took for you to be here tonight. So thankful you're here. We will be doing a raffle, our final raffle tonight on the virtual platform, but we also will be sharing with you an amazing event we'll be having on June 1st. And so what I'd like for us to start off in our chat blast like we normally do is I have 2 questions for you, my friends, and you can answer one in the chat box, or you can come off of mute. I'd love to hear your voice. What did you learn new about your child this year? Or what did your child accomplish that brought you joy? What did you learn new about your child this year? Or what did your child accomplish that brought you joy? I'll start modeling and love to hear you all. My child just walked by, so he may be like, Mama. Okay, here we go. So my 6th grader, what I learned new is that I knew he was, but I learned that like he is the one in the school who makes people laugh. Now, I'm questioning if he gets in trouble for it as well, because I don't know if he knows how to turn it off all the time. But he collects a lot of friends, a lot of different folks, and people, he told me that he just wants to make people feel good. And so that's something new I learned about him. I knew he did that at home, but at school, and it brought me a lot of joy. All right, who else? Miley, Teresa, Evelyn, anyone got one out there? What did you learn new about your child this year? Or what did your child accomplish that brought you joy?
I think for me, and this is Evelyn, it's my 7-year-old.
Yeah,
It's
tell
her
me more.
first time in school. She was, doing virtual learning through kindergarten. So just having her be independent and not be too clingy to me was amazing. And also she finally sleeps in her own bed, which is a win-win.
Let's give Evelyn a hand clap. That is a big deal. You forgot how to stretch out like that, huh, in the bed.
Oh yes, it's like I'm back to being a teenager, my whole bed to myself.
Oh my God, love it. That's big. And especially when you have a new kindergartner or TK and you realize that they can move through the world without you a little bit.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Anna, I see you in the chat box. Do you want to use your voice for us?
I have the kids with me, so they're making a lot of noises.
Okay, it's okay. We don't mind kids. But you want me to read it for you or you want to say it?
You can say it.
Okay, so Anna said, my TK, he's star building robots from all kind of boxes. Wow, so when you see your little one build and do robotic things and you're like, wow. And then you also said, my 4th grade, he is the helper of the teacher. I'm very proud, he's doing great. You all, I love this because a lot of us wondered how our kids would be going back to school. And these comments are evidence that they're actually okay. Nellie, I love to hear your voice, my friend.
I was gonna say I had his IEP meeting with his teacher, and
Yeah.
I'm going, oh my gosh, okay. Like here I am thinking, gosh, baby, you're so like, I mean, either that or I have really high expectations, right? But he's actually doing really good, and I'm looking at his work, and I'm like, oh my gosh, your handwriting is neat. I can read this. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I was actually very proud of him. This is just like little hint, but a little thing, but he wrote that he wants to be a store manager, and I'm like, a store manager? And he's like, yeah, because I like to help people and I like to use the microphone. I'm like, okay, well, we'll talk about this. Okay, I don't.
He really knows he's a leader. Give him a microphone. I love it. I love it. You all, it's important for us to pause for these moments because as parents and guardians, sometimes we don't see the fruit of our labor, right? Or how we have to take care of our kids or discipline them or support them. But we have to stop for these moments because our kids are extraordinary. They're completely complex, just like us as humans, but they've had a year where they've gone back to school and they're okay. We're okay. And like Nellie says, they're also surprising us on how resilient they are, how conscious and considerate they are, how kind they are, and also their leadership. I tell you, I think a lot of us adults could learn from our kids right now. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think so. Hi, Yvonne. I see you right there, my friend. Hi, Kyle. Good to see your name. All right. Anybody else before we move on? Okay. Hi, Magley. Am I saying your name right? Magalay, M-A-G-A-L-Y. Hi.
Sí, voy a necesitar un traductor.
If some,
Bueno, mire, yo quiero decir algo. Yo estoy escuchando aquí los comentarios de los papás, que son comentarios buenos, pero por ejemplo, yo tengo una experiencia con los Chromebooks que en vez que le ayude a mi niño en lo académico, lo ha tenemos un duro problema con eso, porque él está viendo videos en YouTube, videojuegos, videos que no vienen al caso de hacer la tarea. Entonces, no sé de qué manera pudiéramos eliminar los Chromebooks para el siguiente año escolar, porque lamentablemente eso es una distracción para los alumnos. En las escuelas, en todas las escuelas, porque ellos están libres de utilizar los Chromebooks para que puedan utilizar para jugar videojuegos, ver videos en YouTube o también en los chats. Entonces, me gustaría saber si el Colegio de Distrito Escolar de San Leandro va a quitar los Chromebooks o para el siguiente año o todavía van a seguir, porque es una preocupación para mí como madre de familia de que mi niño utilice Chromebooks, porque es una ventana de distracción total para él. Entonces, eso sería mi pregunta. Gracias.
Oh, great. We have translation. Gracias. I want to say that I am hearing the comments of the parents, but I had an experience with the Chromebooks. We are having problems because he is just on YouTube. Is there a way to get rid of the computers next year because they are using them for chats and videos on YouTube? So I want to know if the SLUSD is going to use the Chromebooks or move them. You know what? That is a really good question. And my thought would be, I think a lot of us have those challenges. Don't worry, Joanna, I got the gist of it. Thank you so much for translation. A lot of us are dealing with that with our kids as well. And some of the things we talked about a couple months ago was how to even monitor our kids on those Chromebooks and computers, and even some systems that you can install to monitor them. And I think in regards to the Chromebooks for next year, my thought would be is that the district will be letting us know probably before in the early summer or before school starts around computers and things like that. James, am I kind of accurate on that, my friend? You're muted.
I stepped away.
Oh, okay. Okay, one of the parents was just asking, they're concerned about the YouTube on Chromebooks and stuff, and she was just asking, do you all yet know if you will be using Chromebooks next year or not? And I told them that we'd probably be getting some messaging about that but in the beginning of summer.
Yes, we will definitely still be using Chromebooks. We do have a filter that allows students to use, certain applications and to access things such as YouTube, but certain content still is filtered that would not allow them to capture that.
Okay, thank you. And so if your kid is also seeing things or able to access YouTube and certain things on their Chromebook that you don't think they should, you may want to take it back to their school and let them look at that computer and see if they need to put another filter on there. Or sometimes, can I say this? Sometimes our kids know how to break through firewalls. And so you may want to take the computer back, get some support with that. Okay. Oh, yeah. And Kyle says he has experienced this as well. And so, okay, let me just say that. So I have like 3 kids, 2 nephews, different ages, some of them the same. And one of the things we try to practice is literally checking their computers, checking the windows. And parents, I have to say, the computers won't ever go away anymore. They are here to stay in our young people's lives in some way. And if you need support to understand how to protect your kids around cyber things, reach out and we'll have a thing later for your kids on site, because they also have resources, and I think there's a link.
Join the meeting.
Hi. All right, thank you all for your comments. It's wonderful. All right, so what I want to do here is now jump into a couple things, and I heard there may be like Warriors game or somebody needs to cook dinner later, so we're going to try to jump off at 45 after. And so here's the thing, my friends. When we as parents and guardians end strong, our kids end strong. So I want to share with you a couple of strategies that we use in our house that comes from the online Parent Scholastic. Remember, I wanted to always share with you resources you can use. This is a great website that has a lot of information to support us as parents. And here are 4 ways to help your students finish strong for the school year. I'd love to also hear your guys' voices, and for those who have some strategies as well. All right, if you're ready to roll, let me hear say yay. Okay. All right, you there?
Yay.
Okay. Susan, I see you and your smile is refreshing. Thank you. All right, so one of the things we talk about is gear check. And what this talks about is, if possible, make sure your kids have all the right supplies needed to end strong. All right, y'all. My kids went to the library 2 weeks ago, and guess what they left there? The computer charger. So now there's no computer chargers, right? I would not have realized that until one day the kid says, I can't use my computer. You have to. And so what I realized even a week ago is checking to make sure they have their computers, they have their chargers. How many of your guys' kids' backpacks are now falling apart, right? Or their binders are so full with paper, even taking that paper out and organizing it. And for the next 16 days, making sure that our kids have the supplies they need. All right. Hey, Kyle, pens, papers, mask, right? And even I'm learning in middle school with my kids is there are some teachers who are also asking for students to turn in things that are on paper. And some of the kids aren't used to that, but even making sure they have their paper homework to turn in to go to school. Any thoughts or comments before on that so far? Anyone need to do a gear check for their students to make sure they have everything? Someone said had to replace zippers on backpacks 3 times this academic year. Oh, I know. How about, does anyone have a kid who walks out of the house and their backpack is literally halfway open, and then you get it so anxious because they won't let you zip it, but you already know what's going to happen? Yeah, middle school. All right, next, do a grade audit and set daily goals to help get to the finish line. Root this on like a sport event. All right, you all, Aries is your friend. And so one of the things that we do with the high school kid and the middle school kids is we go in, like I did early this week, and we check their grades. And sometimes I'm a little irritated. Anybody out there a little irritated sometimes? A little irritated. But sometimes I'm like, all right, let's finish strong. So over the next 16 days, what do you have to do to end strong? And sometimes that's having your child, middle school and high school, email their teacher and ask them what assignments they should turn in, right? That's us as parents asking the teachers, what can they do? How are they tracking? It's even us to allow the kids to take ownership of their learning by sitting with you and looking at their grades. Sometimes I ask my kids, why are you absent on this time? You know, what does it mean when you're missing an assignment? And here's the thing, parents, that sometimes it will stress some of us out, is some teachers are posting grades in different systems. Schoology, I think I'm saying that wrong. I always say that wrong. Schoology, thank you. In Schoology or on Google Classroom. And so if you don't see a grade update in Aries and or you see a teacher hasn't put a grade, ask your students where their teacher is putting the grade. And what I've learned is that it helps our kids mature and take more responsibility. And let me tell you what's encouraging for our kids is if today they see they have a C minus and you say, we got 16 days to turn that around. And in 16 days, they have a B minus because they tried their hardest. That is a boost to their ego, to their esteem, and to the fact that they could get it done. Any thoughts or questions or strategies you all use? Okay, I see people taking notes. Yes. All right, here's the other thing. All right, some of us are raised a little old school, maybe, where if your grades are right, you are getting in trouble, you get on restriction. What if we rooted our kids on, like some people will, the Warriors tonight? Try it. If you're not getting the desired outcome from your child that you want, with the way that you are speaking to them or reinforcing behavior and or academic success, then for the next 16 days, hey, what could fail? What if we rooted them on? What if we sat with them and say, you got this, I know it's really hard, yep, you messed up, and now let's partner together to get you on the other line. And every day you rooted your child on, you rooted the young person you're raising on. And the reason why I'm saying that is probably a more effective strategy or needed strategy now more than ever is because just like us adults, the kids are exhausted, right? They are dealing with a lot of stuff at school and in their social groups? Anyone like question the playground politics these days? The things that the kids, right, it's a lot going on. And now that we're seeing, you know, people being sick a little more, they're stressed and nervous again. And so what if we were like the sunshine in their day and we rooted them on academically? All right. Alexandria, I see you, my friend. You want to say your comment? That's good. Okay, I'll read it for you. Thank you. I got you back. All right, my friend, middle school son, what works is reward. For example, buying him an item of clothing or giving him some cash. He is student of the month this month, so it works. Great job if you can do that. Yes, yes, yes. Right? Are there incentives? Some people call it bribing their kids. Hey, sometimes I'm not below that. I'll bribe a child. But right, little incentives like there's, I don't know about you all, but my kids are, boba is life right now. And so getting a nice cold boba drink or something like that, or ice cream, I'll say, hey, let's see how you do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then Thursday, you can have a large drink. That's a reward. Okay, great, thank you. All right, next, lead by example. Oh, this one always gets me. It's the hardest, it's the hardest. My dog, hi baby. All right, so kids learn by example and are quick to adopt our attitude. All right, can I keep it real, Kyle? If I can, just say keep it real, Gingy. At this point, go ahead.
Keep it real, Gingy.
Keep it real, Gingy.
Some of the teachers may be even frustrating you right now around your kids' grades, your kids' behavior. Some of the things going on at your schools may even be frustrating. But here's the thing, if our kids see us get super frustrated, mad, and even talk crap in some ways about their teachers, their principals, other students, people's parents, they will do what we do, not necessarily what we say. And so this time of the year, we're all frustrated. We're all a little strung out. We're all ready for things to be over. That math class your kid has been going through, they think it's been hurting them, but it's really been hurting you, right? And so is there a way for the next 16 days for us to make sure that, kind of the old school, how do we, if we can't say it nice, then maybe not say it? Or when we are frustrated with what's going on with our kids at school, we try to have a conversation with them for them to understand that you can be frustrated and you still have to move forward. That's how we teach our kids resiliency strategies. And part of it is the way that we model it in the midst of our own frustration. I'm going to pause right there and see if there's anyone that wants to say anything or comment, or is there anyone else who's feeling a little bit of this frustration right now? Hi, Susan.
Hi. So my daughter watches a lot of that Dhar Man. And so every so often I have to kind of bring that back to her. And I'm very old school. So I tell her, look, morals, you have to learn. I go, watching Dhar Man, you could do that for a little bit. I go, but instill that in what you're going through at this moment. Have that compassion, empathy.
Yeah, thank you. Is Dhar Man a cartoon?
It's a series that's, I think it's on YouTube, but I like it because they do have for young, young kids, young adults. And there's like a moral at the end where they'll tease someone, pick on someone, and then Dhar Man will come at the end and, he'll kind of present kind of a little skit, and then he'll say, what could you have done better? And it's always a turnaround. It just reminds me of the old ways.
Nice, nice. I like that, Susan, because sometimes we can watch a cartoon like that, a show where we can extract those things and have conversations with our kids. And even tell our kids, like, I'm not perfect. Like, I actually just learned something from Dhar Man right now, too. Can you type the name in the chat box for any parents that may want to watch that show or look at it for their kids?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Any other thoughts or comments there? Okay. Anybody, is this relating to you? You're like, Avoid speaking negatively about school homework in front of your child. It will be harder for your child to put forth their best effort if they think you don't care and you don't like school, etc. For example, some of us are getting like notices in the mail or in emails, And while a lot of stuff is hard for us to receive, y'all, let's try to, and this is why it's so important to have a community of parents, even if it's on this platform or in your life or someone we can talk to. So some of the frustrations that we have, we're taking them to an age appropriate person as opposed to our children. All right. All right. So lead by example. And I want to affirm all of those parents who have been leading by example, or guardians where you have been holding your tongue, or you have been like, okay, or supporting your teachers and your administrators, even in the midst of hardship. All right, next, stick to a routine. Okay, has anyone slacked on their routines lately? Like cooking dinner? Washing clothes? How many of us taught our kids how to wash clothes and then they still not washing clothes? Things like that. Homework. Anyone stop doing homework checks? I'm just going to call it out so you don't feel alone. You don't feel guilty. You don't feel bad. We're in this together. Susan, go ahead, my friend.
Yes, definitely. I'll be like, I'll go to sit with you. I'm just as bad with my stuff. It's horrible.
Have any of you kind of slacked on bedtime too because you actually fall asleep before your kids? Yeah. Susan, I said yes. Some of us, right? I take my kids' phones at night, but I've been falling asleep before they're supposed to turn the phones over to me, and I wake up in the middle of the night like, where's the phone? I fell asleep, right? So you all let yourself off the hook. We have gotten away from certain routines. Our kids have been trying, we've been trying. And so for the next 16 days, maybe being more intentional about those routines. Why? Because our kids, it's hot, there's a lot going on. They do need their rest. And better yet, you need your rest, you need your space. And what we know in youth development is kids do really well when they have structure. Now, some kids don't think they like it. But if you just moved out the house and left them by themselves without any money, any food or structure, they would fall apart and be like, I need an adult in my life. So let's not move out the house, but let's actually just maybe and do a little things. Lorena, I see you here. You said, I am so ready for school to be done, ready for a new start. Can you say more? Because I think you may be right on our heart right now.
No, I am just ready for school to be over. I was like, ready for a new beginning, for hopefully next school year being better now that we start everything. But yeah, I'm just ready for it to be done, have some time off, and start from scratch when hopefully he passes all his classes and we have a new school year. And if not, well, we'll see what it goes. But I'm done with it, put it that way.
Yeah, if you can relate to Lorena, go ahead and do your heart emoji or something so that she can see she's not alone. Because sometimes the thing about parenting is just to know that we're not alone in this, and that, we can be tired and still have to show up. You see all those hearts? That's all of us right now. And so thank you for being a voice to some of us, because you all, it has been exhausting making sure our kids get to school, making sure they're not sick, making sure we put food on the table, making sure their clothes are clean, making sure that they eat a healthy meal. And then sometimes you realize it's been 2 weeks and they haven't had a vegetable. Okay, I'm just probably telling them myself, but like all these making sure things, and then paying the bills and all that. And so it's almost time where we can kind of take a pause and a start over. So thank you for sharing. I want to go to 1 or 2 reachable goals. So here's the thing, and even when I coach adults, this is what I say, is that oftentimes we want the pie in the sky, or we want to do everything. But the truth is, we just aren't capable sometimes of reaching like 10 goals in one month or a year. And so how do we, for the next 16 days as parents and guardians, set a couple of reachable goals for ourselves and even for our children? Help your child select 1 or 2 small goals to accomplish before the school year ends. The goals could be challenging but reachable. Work with your kids to determine steps to take to work towards their goals, and encourage practice. So for example, if you have a high schooler who actually is very much old enough to take responsibility for their grades, Maybe the one goal you set for them, if you see your grade is not where you desire it to be, or you know they can do better, is I want you to go email your teacher and ask them, what is one thing you can do in the next 16 days to bring your grade up a little? And so as opposed to telling your student, in 16 days, bring your grade up from a D to an A. Can I keep it real? That is almost not possible for a high school student, okay? That expectation is almost a setup for failure. But you can say, I need you to bring that to a C in the next 16 days, if possible. And a goal as a parent I would set for myself is I will let you email the teacher on Monday. And on Wednesday, if you don't hear back, then I will step in and support you in figuring that out. And I also tell my high schooler, you still may get a D, but at least you tried. And that may be the only goal that that child of mine can actually even think about, because it's a lot for them. Kyle, what you got, my friend? You're muted,
No,
dear.
I was gonna say that right before this Zoom, my son Thomas and I were having a discussion about screen time and talking about averaging. So trying to explain to him about, you know, in math, how you combine all the days that we're doing the screens and then divide it, so get our average. And so we're gonna have a goal of trying to really reduce it to, you know, 2 hours a day. Because it's gotten a little, you know, it's gotten pretty high. So I just thought that would be a nice goal, is like, if he wants, you know, if he has that average and then for the next 16 days, you know, like that's, you know, we can figure that out. What would be, if he does 6 hours one day, then that's going to affect the rest of the other days. You'll have to do less, you know?
That's right. That's great, Kyle. And you're also teaching him an amazing skill for life, which is a formula to be able to assess himself when he feels like it's too much, right? Like, how do you take math and say, let me show you this, right? With our children, as I take their phones, now they bring me their phones when they feel like it's too much for them. And so the more we kind of skill build with our children, like you're saying, Kyle, the more they can use that when we're not around. Nellie. Oh, Nellie says, I like that idea about average time on electronics for the week. Yep. Great. Thank you, Kyle. You just gave us something there. Anyone else? Can you think of one goal as a parent or guardian you can make for you over the next 16 days that supports you feeling like you're ending strong?
I'd like to see if I can set a goal for myself to have my son even talk to me, because normally I think he gets on his cell phone and they learn how to cuss and swear at parents, and I think that's even just a start, so we could even have a beginning of a conversation. That would be my goal. I think that's where I can start.
Arthur, that's a great goal. That's a great goal. And I think sometimes, and maybe there's parents here who have suggestions. Sometimes I found like taking your kid for a walk and saying, hey, when we cross the street, let's put our head up, and then finding time to talk. There's one parent on this platform that also said when they get in the car, they do no cell phones, because in the car is the time where they share each other's lives. And then in this house, the kids ask us what we call curious questions. So they say, hey, or I say to them now, what was a joy you had at school today? Or what was a win? And so those type of things, Arthur, I think the sooner you can do that, the better. And can I keep it real to say that it may not be super easy. It may not be, but it's super worth it.
Well, I think there's a big problem in particular. I don't think it's happens in many households, but in our house, mom had passed away. It'll be a year coming up in this Saturday.
Oh, I'm
so
sorry.
we made it through the year, but at a certain point, the child has to be autonomous. He has to make decisions on its own, and that's a part of life too, and it's real. So he's working it out in his ways, and one of his ways of doing it is to declares and depends about, for instance, when I'm telling him, hey, it's 11 o'clock, it's time for bed, it's a school night, he'll prove to me that he could handle it by staying up, and then he doesn't go to school the next day because he's too sleepy.
Right.
So there's some basics there, and yeah, so I got to work on the, I hear it's very encouraging to hear all the things that everybody's talking about. I think I have to resort back to the basics, just to get them just do basic things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
No, Arthur, thank you for sharing. And we're all of us are very sorry for your loss and his loss. And I have to say, my friend, it's okay. You guys have been through something that is life altering. And for this year, we call them coping mechanisms or coping skills through. And also for kids, they build community virtually in a way that we can't understand because that's not how we were raised. But we have found that for kids, the virtual community, there is no difference from a friend physically being in front of them to them being on a virtual platform because the way their minds are wired. And so there may be some solace there. And so whatever you had to do to get through this year, our hats and hearts are off to you all. And I think you're right. It's just one step at a time to now getting to a place that feels safe, comfortable, and progressive for you all. And also, there are also people out there you probably know that can help you build some strategies around that. But I just also want to acknowledge your voice and the care you have for your child that we can really just hear in your voice. So our hat is off to you, my friend. And Susan says, be kind and loving to our kids, including ourselves. Root them on just like you're rooting your son on.
Yeah, thank you for those words. Just like a lot of parents, the potential behavior of the electronics is I think it's uncontrollable, really, because I think at a certain point it tells him what to do. It tells him when to eat. It tells him it's his priority. It's his family. Kind of like you're saying, he's bonding with the laptop, and everything else doesn't matter. Real life doesn't matter. That laptop is everything to him. So I was doing the carrot stick situation. So if he does his few chores, baby steps, keep in mind, then he does it without me asking, then he gets the play on that. If he doesn't abide by the basics, or he cusses at me too much in one day, then he gets a day at it. Well, I think he's he's almost at the end of the year right now. So I don't think that strategy is working too well.
Yeah. Well, my friend, I tell you, and I love to see hands. Some of us parents try and we fail and we try again, and even him. What I want to offer you as a tool, Arthur, is if you go to the San Leandro Reps website, about 3 sessions back, we talked about being with our kids outside in order to get them off technology and how it could support us as parents. And I'd love for you to go and maybe if you get a chance, look at that session we all had together and see what strategies are there, because some of it we all talked about was literally getting our kids out of our house and us out of the house as well. And then Susan says, also check to see if you can EAP, what's that, Susan? Where are you at?
It's the Employees Assistance Program. Many jobs have like kind of a reach out source counseling and such. That might be helpful, Arthur. I lost my mom at 8 and I did not think that I would ever get through it. But look I'm 50. I just turned 50, so I made it. It takes a little bit of hard work, and it's hard to kind of sometimes express your feelings, but those employee assistance program counseling, even sometimes the library offers sessions like that, which is really nice.
Yeah, sometimes you got to find the right counselor for that, and that's pretty important too. Not the right counselor, what are you doing? You counselor shopping, because really there's people that are unique and would fit within one person that doesn't fit with the other. So really, you almost have to shop randomly at first until you find one.
Yeah. Well, I want to encourage you, my friend. Keep going, and our hat is off you. And also, if you see any of us or at the school, there are supports. But also, I just want to thank you for bringing your voice in here. I want to share with you all as we go ahead and begin to wind down. And Arthur, this could be a good place too for you and your son to come, for us to just be community together, right? This is one of the reasons, like James tirelessly comes back here every week with us while we're here, is because we all have experienced something in the last 2 years. Our kids have, our families have. No one has been untouched by the many things that have happened over these last 2 years. And what we want to do is we now want to come together and celebrate as community. We're not saying life has gotten totally perfect. Life is what it is. But let's come out with our kids. Let's come out with our families. Let's play some games together. Let's eat together. Let's celebrate the end of our 2-year family landing pad virtually, but also our accomplishments with each other. All right. So I want to go ahead and share. We are doing a family landing pad series day. Woohoo! And what that is that on June 1st, a Wednesday evening, we will be having dinner. Someone told me that we're going to be having barbecue with a barbecue pit out there. We're going to have family time and community time. We're going to be playing games. We're giving away 20 gift cards, maybe 25. We are doing a raffle where we are giving away a TV. We are also giving away our big prize, 4 tickets to Great America for a family. We're giving away a couple gift cards for dinner to take you and your family out. And we just really want to just have a ball. And so here's the ask, my friends. I want you all to go ahead and register. Go ahead and register. James, I just got the total. We have 142 people who already registered for the event. So, wow, that is amazing. Go ahead and register. We're going to have a couple parent speakers, a couple you are here. I'm going to be calling you. We're going to be giving away different things, and let's just have fun. We stressed together, so now let's play together. All right. Here is the Spanish translation. If you take a picture of that QR code, you will be able to go ahead and register at Blaze's invite. Here is the Chinese translation as well. And then back to the American. All right. James, would you like to say something or any thoughts and comments when we're going to hang out together, y'all? Okay. Anyone excited? I'm excited in person. That's what I have to say. Nelly, I need to see you in person.
I'll be there. It's like I could probably walk. It's that close to us.
You may want to walk because parking sometimes a little challenging. So if you could walk, good. Maria and I think Susan, I saw you guys off of mute.
And I just put the in the chat. You can also click the Eventbrite through the chat right now if you'd like to go on and register as well. We're excited. We'll be having hamburgers and hot dogs, Impossible burgers, beans and potato salad, and watermelon for dessert.
Oh, nice, nice.
So, come on out and enjoy yourselves.
And we're going to be doing games. You know how we have family game night here? We're going to be having family game night in person. So please wear your tennis shoes. Don't wear your high heels because we may be running. We may even have some hula hoops out there. We'll see what goes on. Great. All right. Now, while we are waiting, I am going to drop the the eval link in the chat box. We ask that you guys go ahead and do an eval for us. The reason why is because this really helps us see what we're doing that you all enjoy and what are some things that you may also want to do. And so I am going to pull together the raffle prize winners while you all finish the and even if you're on your phone, you can fill out the link and still listen at the same time. James, go ahead. Did you want to say?
No, I'm good.
All right.
I didn't have anything.
All right. 1 minute for the okay, almost. Great. Denisha, okay. I see you said you didn't receive yours, so let me have my assistant look into that. We have a spreadsheet with all of them, so it could have went to a different number. Okay. All right, so we are going to go ahead and do our raffle prize winner by a random count. Are you ready? When I call your name, I need you to do actually what our friend Denisha did, is put your name, your phone number, and email address that is not a San Leandro Unified School District email address. Our first winner is Anna Ramos. Woo! Susan Sandoval Romero. And then Karen, I don't know what your last name is, but you were there, my friend. You guys are going to win a $25 gift card to Target. Woohoo! Thank you, thank you. And I am going to put my name, my email in the chat box. If you need to reach out, and also I see a couple people who said they didn't receive their gift cards, go ahead and send me your information via email again, and let me go ahead and make sure and double check. I see there are 2 folks there. All right, you all, my friends, thank you so much for being with us. Those of you that have been so faithful to coming to the Family Landing Pad, you have been a breath of fresh air. As much as Franklin and I are here with you all support us so much. It's just nice to be parents and guardians together. Franklin wanted me to tell you all he will see you on June 1st. He is driving through the Tahoe Mountains from work, and really look forward to seeing you all. When you see us on June 1st, just come on over and tell us who you are, hug us and whatever. We don't even care. We just want to see you. All right. And so thank you all so much. Next week, we do have single co-parents will be our last session, as well as special families. So come on out to there as well. All right. You all take care. Have a wonderful day. Take care of you and enjoy the sunshine. We got the sunshine out.